Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we're watching the 16th episode of the first season of Young Sheldon. Hope you guys have been enjoying it so far. If you like to watch today's full episode, it is available for free in the link in the description below. Just click on it, put the password in, and enjoy. So last episode was actually a really interesting one. Sheldon got a female friend. Now, is it the same age? No, it's an adult in high school who could drive a car. And Sheldon actually wanted to go on a road trip. Him, Tam, and obviously his new friend, who was going to be a chaperone, was going to, you know, go on, I can't remember where it's actually going now, but it's going to go on a road trip anyway. Now, Mum didn't approve, you know, she was dead against it. Dad, George, he was like, look, you know, it's not actually too bad, you know, you got somebody there old enough to look after him, I'm sure it'll be okay. Now, they brought her around, then they sat down, you know, his mum had a conversation with her, and she was saying, look, it's okay, I've looked after kids before, babysit people, and this just was like, wow, it's a head rot to Sheldon, do you know what I mean? Because he sees himself on the same intellectual level, he sees himself probably as the, you know, the same age, even though physically he's a lot younger, because of the environment and where they are and obviously the stages of their life. And like hearing that he's basically going to be chaperone, the babysat, instead of being an equal, it just hit him hard, and he decided, look, I don't want to be friends anymore, I don't want to go anymore, and pretty much ended up, you know, having a conversation with Tom at the end of the episode, like, that's it, you know what I mean, we're going to cut ties, it's not going to work out. But it was interesting because obviously throughout the whole episode, he was getting kind of the traits that you do when you first fall in love, you know what I mean, when you've got a crush, when you're waiting for the phone to ring, when you're constantly on it, you know what I mean, you're passing notes, you're spending all your time together, and you can see that his mum was kind of getting a little bit concerned, obviously, because obviously he was spending all his time with this girl who was much older than him, even though she had no maliciousness in it at all. She was just talking to her as a mate, and obviously, you know, just having a good time as you would. And you know, I thought it was an interesting episode, and that was like Sheldon's first real kind of engagement that we've seen with the opposite sex, you know. And I actually liked it. It was good, but it looks like, you know, it's just going to be him and Tam all the way to the end, so it's going to be interesting. Thanks for checking out today's episode though. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. If you do, please smash like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, let's jump into today's episode.
On any given day, our school gymnasium presented a cocktail of horrors. From daily humiliation to school-sanctioned violence. But one day a year, the science fair, a chance for the student body to come together in the name of research. And others preferred razzmatazz over raw data. The science fair may be a competition, but when the goal is promoting knowledge, we're all winners.
And the winner of the Medford High School Science Fair is...
Georgia.
Sue-Ann Ludlow.
Oh, fuck.
You've got to be kidding me.
Oh, come on, Shelley. You still got an honorable mention.
Stop reminding me.
He's real mad.
You don't always win in life. He needs to learn that.
I know, but these are big feelings for a little boy.
Sheldon, listen, I know losing ain't easy. I deal with it on the football field all the time. We were down 28 points at the half. It was raining. It was muddy. Everybody in the stands had gone home. But somehow, we managed to claw our way back to a tie with a minute left. After all that, we lose on a bad call. I walked across that field and I shook their hands.
I didn't hear a word you said.
Sheldon, what are you doing?
Being
Look at him.
disrespectful, sir.
How come?
Because I'm disillusioned with the school system. Youthful rebellion. My voice hasn't changed yet, but my attitude has.
I'll let him know you're here.
You do that, ma'am.
I'll send him in.
Hold on a minute. Does he know I'm in here?
Attention, students and faculty.
Oh, no.
I came up with a solution to save Earth from killer asteroids and lost the science fair to Sue-Ann Ludlow and her frizzy hair machine. But it wasn't just me who lost, we all lost. I urge you all to rise up. They can't send everyone to the principal's office. This is Sheldon Lee Cooper signing off. Live long and prosper.
Do you know, I've said this actually before, but I can't remember now, because we don't use it here, but like, you use a number 2 pencil in the US. What is that? Is it just a pencil with a harder bit of lead in it? I don't really get it, you know. I always remember it on like cartoons. It might have been like a Dexter's Laboratory episode or something when it had to use it, but I just don't. What is a number 2 pencil? Is it just a thicker lead? I don't know, but I understand why he's upset. But to me, a science fair, especially at that age in high school, now it's not about who's the smartest person in there and who can save the world. You know what I mean? He's writing all these equations how to solve and save the world from an asteroid. To be honest, at a science fair, it's all about entertainment and taking part and having a good time. You know what I mean? And all right, yeah, his probably was the better one. But like, what did the people who attended have more fun at? You know what I mean? Like, you could have all these fun tents going around and you might have all the correct information and be way more advanced than everybody else. But if no one turns up, then the tent that everybody's paying attention to and taking part and having a go at, that's the one that's going to win. Do you know what I mean? So like, I understand why she won, because people probably liked it more. Just, it doesn't mean that the knowledge or the information that she had was better than Sheldon's, and that's where he needs to obviously kind of like learn. Especially in school, it's not always going to go your way.
You send him to bed without his dinner.
That's right.
On spaghetti and hot dog night. That's rough. I've been thinking, and there's something I'd like to say.
Unless it's an apology, I don't want to hear it.
I'm quitting science.
Oh, I'm sure he'll get right back to it. I've quit smoking and gambling plenty of times. Look at my purse. Nothing but cigarettes and scratchers.
Hey, welcome back.
Thank you for seeing us on such short notice, Doctor.
Oh, not a problem. Sheldon, I remember you. Do you remember me?
I remember everything.
I understand you've changed your mind about being a scientist.
And you're gonna say I can't?
No. For the longest time, I thought I was going to be a professional figure skater.
And then you became disenchanted with the field like I did?
Exactly. Someone skated right over my foot. And that was that.
All in that?
Hey, we're all done.
I've decided to become an actor. Maybe he'll learn to act normal.
How about you learn to act nice?
You people don't appreciate my sense of humor.
You know, I actually did a little community theater back in my 20s. It was fun. But I'm pretty sure doing plays is just an excuse to change in front of each other backstage.
Really?
Yeah. Theater folk just love to take their clothes off.
You know what's mad? It's like acting. You know, my cousin actually does acting. He's only young, maybe about 20 or something. But like, he actually is pretty good. And I'm not even just saying that because it's like family. Like, he's been in a couple of adverts. He's done a couple of stage performances. And like, he's, you know, I think he's got a callback in one of the big soaps here in the UK. And it's like, that's decent. You know what I mean? Because ever since he was a kid, he was always saying that he wanted to be in acting. He really liked Doctor Who and like the magic. And he used to always kind of film himself just in the garden, kind of like just playing around with the TARDIS and all that. And, you know, as always, you know, you support somebody like, yeah, you can do it. But in your head, you're thinking, mate, do you know what? Like, I wonder when kind of like this obsession with kind of acting is going to stop, and it hasn't. And then also I've got to say is like, fair play. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm not kidding. Yeah. When I watch him like do auditions and stuff like that, like the facial expressions and the stuff like that, like, it's really good. Like, I can't explain it. I'm not saying like he's good enough to be in one of these, but I'm saying he's not bad. Like, if he was in one, he wouldn't be out of place. You know what I mean? Like, if I was acting, you could tell that it'd be robotic, and you could tell my facial expressions wasn't that good. Like, when I always say about Amy and Sheldon in obviously the Big Bang Theory, like, when they do stuff, their facial expressions sell it, and I believe like when they're happy, and they're sad, they're sad. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying he's on their level, but what I mean is, like, when someone is an actor or a performer and they do stuff, they sell it. And, like, when I'm looking at him, I'm like, wow, that's really good. You know what I mean? Like, I watch an audition, I think, wow. You know what I mean? Like, when I look at myself, I think, shit, that is absolutely awful. Do you know what I mean? Like, acting is hard. So, like, when you look at these guys, like, they're actually really good. That's why for their ages, like Missy and Sheldon and obviously Georgie, like, I think they're really impressive. You know what I mean? Because like, if I do it, it's shocking. But when you actually physically up close and see someone do it, like I said, I'm not saying he's the best actor in the world, but I can see his progression and I'm like, wow, it's really good. And acting is so hard. I can understand why a lot of people can't make it, because there's so many people, like, once you hit it, you're really good. You know what I mean? But like, getting there, it's so hard. You go to auditions with hundreds of people and you just got to hope that you're the lucky one.
Hello, are you Mr. Lundy? I was told you're the head of the drama department.
Mm-hmm. And the girls' volleyball coach, which between us is the real drama department.
I'm interested in becoming an actor.
You come to the right place. You know, I've been a professional actor for years and years.
Really? What have you been in?
Well, have you seen the Mattress Madness commercials on Channel 68? I'm soft and firm in all the right places. Anyway, auditions are next week. You're welcome to come on by.
Excellent. I checked out a book on acting, so I should have the hang of it by then.
To master acting, I immersed myself in all forms of the genre, from silent films to modern classics to logic-defying experimental work.
Why aren't they all singing?
Because it's a musical.
What are you looking for?
A brooch.
What's a brooch?
It's a piece of jewelry. In my acting book, there's an exercise where you look for a missing brooch in a convincing way. You really believed I was looking for something.
You're a freak.
If I can change, and you can change, everybody can change.
Thank you, Ava. That was a lovely reading from Rocky IV.
Poor naked wretches, wheresoe'er you are, how shall your houseless heads and unfed sides, your looped and windowed raggedness, defend you from seasons such as these?
Holy mackerel.
Don't cry for me, Argentina. I got daisies in green pastures. I got my girl who can ask for anything more.
I've got my star. Who could ask for anything more? Who could ask for anything more? Woo!
Mission go.
Great, I got the lead.
You're kidding.
What's the play?
Annie, I need to go learn my lines.
You know, if you play the part of a girl, people might make fun of you.
Mr. Lundy's trying to push the boundaries of drama in East Texas.
Let me rephrase that. If you play the part of a girl, people will make fun of you.
You're a football coach. Isn't it your responsibility to put in the best player for the job?
That's a
Yes.
good term, that.
Well, I want to do this. And Mr. Lundy said I was the best.
Can you at least wear pants instead of a dress?
I'll give you a definite maybe.
3 weeks later. I actually want to see the play, me.
Okay, who's excited? I don't want to see Sheldon's stupid play. It's humiliating.
Hey, everybody, 10 minutes to curtain. No smiling girls, it's a hard knock life. How you doing, Mr. Cooper? A pack of cows?
Never anticipated that, innit, before he started.
Oh dear.
You're feeling scared, I get that, but what you have to understand is you're not going out on that stage alone. The trapeze artist always performs with a net to catch him, to protect him, and you are protected by everyone standing here.
I actually hope he does it.
Mr. Lundy gave a compelling speech.
Yeah, it was good,
The
that.
audience did deserve to see what they came for. They were not disappointed.
Hop down, all of you. Go back to sleep.
He backed
All
out.
right, Molly. Annie's here.
Tell you how an East Texas audience in 1989 responded to a grown man playing Annie.
The thing is, right, I know that he's just said he could tell us how they responded to a grown man playing Nanny, but playing Annie, but they obviously must clearly know that that's the teacher. Do you know what I mean? And something would have happened where he's had to fill in. You know what I mean? Like, it's not as if it's just a random Joe Blogs off the street that's auditioned. There's got to be a background behind it, and his role should be easy to understand who he is and why he's filling in. I just wish that we seen Sheldon do it. And the thing is as well, you could be good at acting, but he's doing it in front of people. That is the hard part. Do you know what I mean? Doing it in front of a crowd and just switching it on like that, that is a struggle.
I think I see his underpants.
I told you. Theater folk just love to show off their business.
Tomorrow,
He's loving it, though.
I love you. Tomorrow, you're always a day away.
Oh, mate, it's pretty tight that he didn't get a round of applause. To be honest, he actually wasn't even that bad, you know, and he filled in. He done really well. And, you know, like I said, with Sheldon, he could be the greatest actor in the world, but doing it in front of a bunch of people, it is solid, honestly, it really is. And, you know, I always go, there's a scene, I can't remember what film it is, but Leonardo DiCaprio's in it, and he acts, and he's sat on a chair, and I think he's crying, and then at the end of the scene, the little girl turns to him and says, like, that is the greatest bit of acting that I've ever seen, or something. It might be like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood or something, I don't know. Could be totally lying there, but definitely a scene, and I'm like that as well. Like, when I watch it, I'm just like, mate, that guy has literally just acted like that, just switched it on, started crying, started screaming, started doing everything, and then cut, and then he just gets off his chair and walks off and goes have his coffee or something. Do you know what I mean? I think it's ridiculous, me. Acting is one mad talent. It really, really is. And I would love to watch somebody acts like in real life, just stand right next to him and just watch them walk into a room. It's like how people do awkward scenes and stuff. You know, have you ever watched The Office and Michael Scott and Scott's talks? It's so awkward, honestly. And like filming it, he must have felt awkward and everybody in there. But like that is pure talent, and it's madness. I think acting is one of the most craziest things that somebody can do, and when he can perfect it, oh mate, it's amazing. Okay, that is going to wrap up today's episode. Thanks so much for checking out the channel today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Have you ever been in a position kind of like that before, where like, you know, you could do something, and then when you have to do it, kind of like when the pressure's on, you're absolutely terrible at it. So like, for example, I'm not too bad at darts. Do you know the sport? Michael Van Gerwen, you know, that's what I could play it in the house. I could play it with my friends. I would say, I mean, I'm not saying I'm great. Like, I'm at an okay level where like I could do all right when I'm having a game, be competitive, for example. And, you know, a couple of pups around my way. The darts team, you know, I thought, you know what, we'll go there, have a good time. You know, my dad was playing, my uncles and stuff. And it's just like, we'll go there every Tuesday and we'll have a couple of games, have a laugh, watch the football, maybe have some pints. And, you know, draw against other pubs. So I used to play for a pub called The Grove. And, you know, we'd go around the play, you know, the other pubs in our local area, like little teams. Now, when I got put into an environment where I had to play darts, see, so before, when you're playing your mates, you're just playing it for a buzz, aren't you? You're just having a good time in the house or whatever. It's like nothing. It's not competitive. It's now. You're all right. But as soon as I got put in that competitive environment, and loads of people was there, when I say loads, it might have been about 40 people, all just stood there, and you kind of on like a small stage, and I was fucking terrible, honestly. Absolutely terrible. Every week I used to think, oh my god, like what's going on? But then I could come home and I could play all right again, and that's pressure. Honestly, it's pressure. It's like the fact that you have to perform in front of people. I'm shocking at it. Do you know what I mean? People get performance anxiety in the bedroom, innit? Do you know what I mean? Like, maybe on their own, they're all right. But when they have to get put in a situation where it has to happen, do you know what I'm saying? Like, people struggle with it. And, you know, I'd be interested to know if anyone else has been in situations like that where, like, they could do something and they know they can do something. However, when it gets put in front of a crowd or they have to do it, it totally frees up, can't do it, no, get me away. You know what I mean? And that was obviously Sheldon in today's episode. And, you know, it would have been good to see him as the lead. However, there may be some ramifications against it. You know what I mean? If he was, you know, a guy dressed as a girl in Texas in 1989 or whatever they said it was, you know what, could, you know, it could be like endless bullying till the end school. Do you know what I mean? Nowadays in 2024, it's just a mix. You know, everybody does anything. It's not even strange anymore. You know, you can see a guy dressed as a woman dressed as a man. It's just standard. It's just a way of life. And that's the way it should be. Do you know what I mean? You shouldn't actually be picked on or anything for just the way you are. Or even, a play's even worse. You know what I mean? Like, it's obviously you're acting. So, it's good that obviously today's society's changed. Still a long way to go, but we're obviously improved since back then. I do love stage and musical stuff. You know, it would have been good to see it. I love watching any type of musical, especially when we get one of them crazy episodes. We haven't had it in the Big Bang Theory or whatnot, but like in other shows, like we just had a random spontaneous singing episode, and I've really loved them. And you know, it would have been good to see it here, but we didn't get it. The teacher didn't do bad though. I thought he actually done all right, but he didn't get his round of applause, obviously, because of who he is and what it is, and obviously the situation that we had it in. But I did enjoy today's episode. Hopefully you guys did too. If you enjoyed it, please smash a like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.